What's up, Primal Gang? A viewer requested me to review the StatusPill Why Status Mugs Looks for Attracting Women. On this, in the beginning of this video, we can see a DJ here and yeah, a bunch of girls in the front row or whatever. And just because they are in front row, it doesn't mean that this guy mugs everybody there, okay? It doesn't mean that at all. Yeah, sure, some of them would love to get together with this guy, just because probably he's famous. I don't know who this guy is, okay? Probably he's famous or whatever, and he has a pretty comfortable lifestyle or whatever, and he could take them to vacations or whatever, and they just want to join. Yeah, free vacation and an easy lifestyle, maybe has a good income, who knows. But yeah, definitely someone who has a cool hobby like being a DJ. I wouldn't say it's very cool, because yeah, it can ruin your hearing from attending so many festivals or whatever. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty comfortable. It's not like working in a factory or whatever. Yeah, and because of the stable income, some girls just want to join. It definitely helps. It definitely helps than just being a normal guy. But other than that, you are going to get your heart broken just because you're a famous DJ or whatever.
In this video, I'm going to show proof and examples of the status pill and explain why the power of status can oftentimes mog looks by several orders of magnitude. The first point I'd like to make is that the ceiling for ascending via status maxing is far higher than the ceiling for ascending via looks maxing, since most people will have a predetermined cap for how much they can improve their looks, while anyone in theory can attain giga status. Most people will be lucky to move up one looks level, meaning if they start...
And also, meeting someone like Ed Sheeran or whatever... Yeah, meeting someone like Ed Sheeran knows other celebrities. So if they would get together with Ed Sheeran, they have the chance to monkey branch from Ed Sheeran to a better looking celebrity, okay? And I guess that's their idea. And if that doesn't happen, then Ed Sheeran is going to be a good backup plan, alright?
Cap for how much they can improve their looks, while anyone in theory can attain giga status. Most people will be lucky to move up one looks level, meaning if they start as a low-tier normie, they'll do well...
Oh my days, man. I don't want to hear this.
...to ascend to mid-tier normie, and someone who starts as a mid-tier normie will do well to ascend to high-tier normie. Even for people who have skeletal bite deformities...
Man, anybody who makes a video like this just gives in so much to, how to say it, like approval. Like in their head, everything is about female approval, okay? They would quit their hobbies, they would quit their whatever, Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Pokemon cards, because they think that if they quit that and they act more manly or whatever, that is going to attract females or whatever. Man, if you have a hobby like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or whatever, and you love doing that, don't quit that for a female or whatever, man. When she gets you angry, you can just pick a... I don't know if you guys know what Yu-Gi-Oh is. You can just pick a card and she gets you angry and you say, haha, you activated my trap card. And you just flip over your Yu-Gi-Oh card for whatever reason and just have a laugh, and she would laugh as well. Or if you're not into Yu-Gi-Oh, let's say you're into Pokemon, and you say that I summon Pikachu or whatever because she got you angry, and Pikachu make electrocutate attack or whatever, man. Just say something nerdy. Like if you are into that type of things, like whatever, trading card games or World of Warcraft or whatever, man, just say it, man. Just don't hide behind the bush and don't act like that is something that you should be ashamed of. I know I had friends who basically used to love Slipknot, the band, but when we were on a New Year party, And I said to them, hey, let's put some Slipknot, cause the music is kind of boring, man. Just listening to toots 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 all day. You just feel like you're going insane, man. You need to put some heavy metal or something, some metal, something more brutal. But because there were girls or whatever, they were literally ashamed to play music like that, because they thought that the girls are not gonna be not gonna approve that type of music, okay? Because it would sound too brutal to them or whatever, man. Like it's it's just so it stresses me out when somebody gives in so much to approval. And this guy who made this video definitely does that, man. In his life, it's everything is about approval. Like don't chase approval so much that you completely lose yourself. I'm not saying that playing Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or whatever, it's part of yourself, but if you love doing it and it brings you joy, it definitely is not something that is bad for you, okay? I get it that it's just pieces of cardboard or whatever. I myself don't own any of that type of cards, I can assure you. But I'm just saying, man, just don't be ashamed and don't chase approval so much, man, to just be depressed about it.
Getting corrective jaw surgeries aren't a guarantee to move up a looks level.
Getting a jaw surgery probably can be good, not only for how to say, for looks, but also the way you bite food, okay? Depends. Something, if something cannot be corrected just by your dentist, then probably a jaw surgery can be good, so you can bite your food normally, okay? Because yeah, that's important if you have such an issues.
Level, which proves just how little room there can be to.
And of course, you end up looking better, because yeah, these jaws don't look really good.
Improve from your base looks level. Someone moving up a looks level by comparing pictures during puberty to pictures after puberty.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man, to compare that.
Do not count as a true.
So you used to be a kid and now you grew up. Okay, yeah, we get it, man. What a looks maxer.
Looks maxing ascension.
That's like saying that in your 30s you start your beard is even thicker and it's way different, and now you're a man, okay? Just because you did I don't know what, and now you're a looks maxer. Because back in the days, like in your 20s, maybe looked like a nerd, and now looks more manly or whatever.
Since most of the improvement was as a result of puberty and facial masculinization, rather than any action taken by the person, a lot of people who actively decide to looks max will be doing so because they started at a deficit and want to receive better treatment from people than they were.
They do it for approval, alright.
Used to experiencing already. This deficit could be due to being fat, exceptionally skinny, or being a late bloomer who's underdeveloped for their age. Once people make up this deficit,
yeah, that sums it up,
and reach their looks maxed potential, it's likely that they will receive better treatment from people, but the treatment they will receive will be nothing like the treatment Chad receives, since almost no one can ascend to become a Chad if it wasn't predestined for them. People who looks maxed because they were unhappy with how they were being treated in the first place were likely to have issues socializing with normies that
oh, don't cry,
extends beyond just their looks. As a result of this, whatever improvement in treatment they receive probably won't really satisfy them, because they'll know that they still have to make 10 times more effort than Chad does, which doesn't sit right with them.
What effort you need to do? I mean, in terms of whatever, like if you're that into, but even then, just eat healthy, man, and chill out, okay? Because stressing it definitely is going to age you.
The goal of ascending to Chad after puberty and receiving Chad treatment is unattainable for almost everyone, which is why putting all of your emphasis on looks maxing while neglecting status maxing is an unwise endeavor.
See? You don't need to be much taller than her. You don't need to be much taller. Look, it's only a little difference, okay? Like you, if the girl you're going after is only this tall, and you don't need to be 195, 2 meter tall if she's 160 or whatever. Okay, you're gonna do fine, especially if you're good looking, of course. But I'm just saying you don't need to be that worried. Okay, you can just go for a more petite one.
Once you have lean maxed, got an ideal hairstyle and good skin, what more looks maxing can you do to improve your face aside?
Oh my god, once you look like this, what you want to improve? Like if you would look like this, what you need to improve, man? Maybe these dark eye bags, I mean this eye bags, lower them and get more sleep and eat more healthy food.
From fillers and
In terms of, I don't know what really caused it. It can be genetics, it can be like, what's the name, man? Allergy or something. Maybe stinged by a bee or something, whatever. But what more can you improve here? Nothing. From here is only downhill once you age.
surgery. Unless you have a facial phalo of some kind, the difference that surgery or fillers will make to your looks is probably negligible enough that it's barely worth the risk or the time and money investment. This is why I believe that the hyper-focus on looks beyond some straightforward
Man, how much you filming yourself and keep moving?
improvements is
I guess it's on replay or whatever.
often pointless. Many people in the PSL sphere will downplay the importance of status and argue that using anything to attract girls aside from your looks is cope because nothing can replicate genuine.
Man, if you look like this and you pull the chick like this, just be happy, man. Don't don't think about its scope or whatever.
Desire other than looks. I disagree with this argument because if you use only your looks to attract girls, then you
I'm a model. You are not. Everybody can be a model. You can be like whatever. Well, not in terms of good looks or whatever, but you can be a model for I don't know, for like a weight loss commercial or I don't know, man. Whatever. You can be a model as a homeless guy or whatever, or someone like I don't know. Depends. There are lots of roles in this world. They don't only hire good-looking models. But the thing about good-looking models that with makeup and whatever, they can make it look worse if they want to. Like I know that you know when they apply this type of masks or whatever, where it makes them more chubby or whatever. What I wanted to say, well, yeah, but they usually hire good-looking models for commercials or whatever, even if they uglify them, because somewhat having a good-looking eyes and all of that still sells better the product and still sells better the movie. Okay, if they put a good-looking model and they uglify them by I don't know, applying some type of makeup, of making them chubbier or making them more different looking.
You will likely underperform for your looks level, since guys who look worse than you are using every non-looks related method.
Because it's very rare that they produce a movie and they really want to spread a message. Most of the times they just want to make a movie to make it sell, especially nowadays.
They possibly can to try occupy the girls who are out of their looks range, thus leaving girls on your level with
What even is this?
less time for you. If you want to rely on only your looks to attract girls, you are effectively resigning yourself to dating methods where you interact with strangers, such as online dating and nightlife. In these settings, Chad will always win, and even high-tier normies
Yes, Chad will always take it home.
can have a hard time finding success with these methods in 2025. If you meet a girl through social circle, your social status comes into play, as girls will see your standing among the group. So any success you have with girls through social circle isn't entirely based on your looks. The only results that are truly based on your looks are if
I believe that it was entirely based on looks, whenever it was through social circle.
girls approach you either in public, in nightlife environments, or message you first on dating apps and offer a meetup or sex. Because of how increasingly competitive the market is becoming, results like this are becoming harder to come by, even for high-tier normies. So if everyone was to truly rely on just
It's just cringe when he keeps bringing up all these labels, man.
their looks for attracting girls, I would bet that at least
And in some cases, the people who use this type of words, that high tier normie or whatever, sometimes they are right, I'm not saying, but in some cases they are not even correct. Because if a girl would see you, they would have like a totally different idea in their own head. Maybe even if they don't say it in front of you because they are shy or whatever, even then they would have a totally different idea. Like, women see you differently than men, okay?
at least 90% of males would be dissatisfied with their results, and maybe even as much as 99% of males would be dissatisfied.
This is so stupid. Why you need to spray something on his hair that you need to cover so it doesn't go in his eyes, okay? Don't put something on your hair that your eyes can't tolerate it.
With their results. Just think of how facially rare of a guy you need to use on dating app experiments before you get attractive girls to initiate and offer a meetup. Now, with this in mind, why not just accept that if you're sub-Chad-like
I like football, innit?
level, you will never be seen as having inherent value, the same way a woman is seen as having inherent value. When your looks aren't blatantly far away from the average man, everything you can do to improve your chances in the dating market matters. One of the most lazy refutations to the importance of status is to use Danny DeVito as an example and say that despite him being a famous actor, no amount of status can make the average woman have attraction to him. Using a facially unattractive man whose height is literally in the 0th percentile to try disprove,
Like I said, even as Durian Rider, even them, they are just together because of free rent, free vacations, and yeah, he basically offers them a way to make a living online.
the effectiveness of status shows just how poor the arguments against status are. Everyone with a functioning brain knows that nothing can make the average girl attracted to a man with 0th percentile height and a poor face. Another argument is to say that status doesn't work for old cells like Trump, because women will express disgust.
But Trump is a tall guy, and he used to look way differently when he was young. Look him up if you don't believe me.
Towards him, despite him being labeled as the most powerful man in the world.
But his life and whatever, he was a CEO and all that things, he has lots of responsibilities. And whatever, that is really stressful, and that kind of deteriorated his looks. But other than that, he's still tall, and even in terms of muscle mass and all of that, he's okay. I get it that he deteriorated over time, but he's no longer in his 20s or 30s. He looked way better when he was in his 20s or 30s. Plus, he's funny, man. He just brings up such nice jokes and everything. And even when he talks seriously, it's just funny.
Again, this is a lazy argument, because nobody ever thinks to bring up men who are nursing home age for any other debates about attraction. But for some reason, the status pill can supposedly be debunked when status...
And nobody really is like disrespectful towards him. I mean, I know that some of his haters or whatever, but when it's like reporters or whatever, he always calls them out, and he doesn't leave anything to slide.
Can't make the average girl attracted to men in their 70s. Almost everyone involved in discussions in the PSL sphere is in their teens.
It is some type of AI editing.
20s and sometimes 30s. Why would giga-old cells and 4'10" males have any reason to be factored into the discussion unless the person bringing them up was clutching at straws while trying to form an argument? Now that we have that out of the way, everyone watching this channel should have done everything they can to ascend to at least mid...
What in the world, man? I mean, I'm not really watching it. I'm just here to review it. But what? Why? I don't care about these approval things, man. Whatever they did, I don't know, using some type of chemical or pharmaceutical to make it like part-time good looking. I don't care about that. I guess here he got leaner, okay? What else he did? Nothing. Did he did anything else? He got leaner and probably cleaned up his diet.
Mid-tier normie level. The status pill is giga important for mid-tier normie and above men competing in the non-old cell dating market, aka the main dating market for people with no kids or divorces. The status pill can also save low-tier normie males, but it's more nuanced, whereas mid-tier normies are guaranteed to have dating success if they have status. I know someone who has spoken to a friend of the YouTuber Joe Weller, who said that random Stacys around the world would send him unsolicited nudes, and he wouldn't reply, because many of them were under 18. The person who told me this lived close to where Joe Weller lived.
Some of them are also just curious what would happen and how would he respond.
And any time he found a Stacy on Tinder, he would check her Instagram account, and every time she would be following Weller, and he would be following her back. This was while he was at the height of his fame when he had his fight with KSI, and at this time...
Did they have a fight? I have to watch it. Should I review it? Should I review the fight? What do you guys think?
He was only following around 300 accounts on Instagram, with pretty much every girl he followed being a Stacy.
That's interesting to just follow Stacy's, whatever. To just follow a bunch of Stacy's just because they are named Stacy.
Known by the local males that he had fucked all of the Stacys in his area through Tinder, basically ordering them to his place like pizzas. He was able to do this while being a mid-tier normie with a case to be called a high-tier normie due to lower look standards in the 2010s. Either way, he is lacking in PSL rating, but more reliant on general appeal to make up for his small mandible.
But he also has like this. I don't really hear him talking here. But he has this aggressive manner. Okay, like you can see that he's not scared. Okay, like looking good and acting like a, you know what, the P word, like a pussy. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's not gonna be very in your. It's very very beneficial compared to acting like this guy. Okay.
Without status, he would be a likely victim of looks purgatory. He also had a gestured persona in his videos, which was reliant on being flamboyant and high energy, which is a stark contrast to what dark triad theorists...
I don't think he attracted any self-respecting Stacys. He just attracted the Stacys that whatever, they just I don't know, okay?
Would have you believe about how women want men to act.
I was just speculating about this.
Another anecdote of the status pill is this 6'6" German normie, who admitted he found it very hard to get cooperation from girls while using online dating, and would often get ghosted by girls he matched with until he frauded him.
Some of them are already in a relationship, okay? They're just there for the attention or whatever, man. They're just there, but most of them, they are already in a relationship, and you should not take that seriously.
His identity and began LARPing as a singer called JVKE, who has 12 million TikTok followers and 12 million YouTube followers. He was able to get the verification badge on his Tinder and Bumble accounts, as the staff at Tinder and Bumble would believe that his verification selfie matched the pictures of JVKE that he was using on his profile. The pickup line he used was that he was in Germany for a week, and he just looked for casual sex. And when he would meet with the girls, he
That's interesting.
would speak to them in English to LARP as American. His success on dating apps increased so dramatically that he could have sex on the same day he made his account.
What a clever guy, man. Imagine looking like a celebrity. Imagine looking like a celebrity and getting the verification right. What in the world?
Some girls messaged him first, saying they wanted to suck his dick and that he should come over.
Yeah, that's kind of gold digging, man. I don't know.
He apparently had sex with 50 attractive girls in a...
This would count as gold digging, okay? He registers on Tinder with his normal name and whatever. Then he registers. I don't know, but we wouldn't encounter the same people, okay? But if it's significant, then you mostly attract gold diggers who know that you have probably millions of dollars or whatever. I don't know how much this guy has. Let's just say you have couple $100,000 of dollars in your bank account just laying around, and you can just travel the world. They want to join you, and they want to get a bond with you, or whatever, to make them like maybe make them come over more often. So you probably gonna take them on tour to see the world or whatever, and probably that's what it is.
A year using this method. He said that he got ghosted by a girl when he matched with her using his real identity, but when he matched with her while LARPing as JVKE, he was able to meet up with her and fuck her, which put into perspective for him just how much additional power women give to you when they believe you have status. He mentions that this experience changed the way...
Yeah, but if they would just stick around and they would find out that he's broke or whatever, they would just bounce. Okay, and how does that feel?
He looked at women, as it showed...
Just because you got so-called lucky once, and they realize, it doesn't mean that afterwards you're going to feel good about yourself.
That he wasn't good enough as his natural self, but when he showed up to meet the girls while LARPing as someone with status, they were all willing to fuck him. This proves that his IRL looks level, passes the girl...
Man, the guy who made this video just gives so much... I don't know, man. He claims that he's 195 centimeters tall, but I think he just gives so much into disapproval, man. He says these things like it's a big deal, man. When you heard me talking about whatever, like things like this. I mean, I know when I spread, not just spreading, because those are not just rumors, but I'm saying about Michelle from China and Get Fit with Natasha. But those I say those things because it's related to so-called diet, and I can prove how Durian Rider is not ideal for them, and that's why they act this way, and it's somewhat related to veganism, because yeah, this is how it is being with someone in relationship who is a vegan. Okay,
looks threshold for
you're just gonna be replaced once your genetics how to say go downhill or whatever, in terms of, like, let's say Natasha is getting replaced with Michelle from China. Okay, if today Get Fit with Natasha would tell Durian Rider that hey, I found this guy and I don't want to be with you, Durian Rider would be like, okay, I don't care, I have Michelle from China. And that's how it is. Okay,
instant fuck.
and next Michelle from China is going to be replaced or whatever. Yeah,
So long as they believe he has high status. Yet when girls matched with his profile of his statusless self, his looks weren't good enough for him to receive anything other than flakes. This is why I believe that a woman's attraction to a given man is not simply binary, but is far more fluid than black pillars want to believe. Once...
yes, it is more fluid. Looking good and acting really strange, it can make woman like run away. Like, if a woman doesn't feel safe around you, it doesn't matter how good you look, like they're just going to go for someone who is not as attractive as you or whatever.
Factors other than looks are brought into the equation. I've often thought that a woman cannot differentiate between how much of their attraction to a man comes from their looks, status, or...
I generally miss borderline unattractive male bands where the music was so good that you forced yourself to believe the band members were cute. 23 years ago, Linkin Park released In the End. Maybe because these guys were really trying to to trying to produce good music, because that's all they had. Because producing good music made them stand out, and it's not the looks that made them stand out. Imagine a good-looking dude who barely can sing and play the instrument, and it just sounds boring at the concert, but the girls just line up because, yeah, he's handsome. It's way different than this guy who actually produced much good music, and he's still producing, because this band even sang at 2024 League of Legends Championship, and yeah, that's a really cool video. It was in London, in London Arena, I guess, or whatever. And it's still on top. Like it's really good music what they produce. And the leading singer Chester, basically, I'm not sure what happened to him. I guess it was drug overdose or whatever, because he was doing good financially, and he also had family, and somehow he just ended his own life, because yeah, he was depressed. I guess it was because of his looks, and it also was because he did not eat a natural diet, and he tried many types of drugs in his life, so he was like really messed up, like mentally.
Or other factors, they just feel the level of attraction first.
175 centimeters. Man, be like, back when I was little. When? Today in the morning? Oh my days, man.
Based on what they observe, but
it's funny because 175 is not too far from 180, 185. Okay, it's 10 centimeters, but somehow they still mind it. I'm curious how tall she is. Okay,
their brains don't work backwards to ask how much of their attraction is due to XYZ.
Chuck Bass is, I know who that is. It's Chuck everything acceptable with that man.
Individual factors.
Yeah, but this girl never saw Chuck in person, okay?
It's like looks, status, and familiarity are all the same liquid substance, and they get poured into a glass. Then once this glass passes a certain point of fullness,
status, behavior, familiarity. Yeah, but if you have looks, you're gonna have good behavior, okay? Because you're treated like you. I'm talking about if you naturally. I'm not talking about if this guy took drugs or had like a messed up family situation or whatever trauma he went through. Okay, that's it. He just has good looks, and he grew up in a good family, and he was fed a good diet. He's gonna be well behaved, like he will know how to behave around women because he had a loving mother or whatever. Familiarity, yeah, he's going to have familiarity with things, whatever. And status, he's going to have a good status because he's probably going to be able to land pretty high paying jobs, and good not as stressful, simply because he looks good and he gets hired. Okay, let's say he becomes like a receptionist for a really well-known hotel that pays like really good salary. I'm just saying this as an example. Or maybe he gets hired as someone who reads the news in TV or whatever. Yeah, that's not too stressful. He just has to read stuff, and he just appears on TV. He looks good, and everybody watches the news because of him. And yeah, I guess that's the attraction threshold.
The attraction threshold is exceeded. A woman doesn't stop to think that a no-name Chadlite deserves a greater level of attraction.
When I see these guys, I don't know who they are, but it's so much try hard, man. Just put on a t-shirt and don't try so hard, and don't cut the side of your hairs. I get it that this guy also cut his cut the sides down, but even him would look better with just leaving the sides. Okay, yeah, leave the sides there. You don't think that you're gonna look like a female or whatever, and if it makes curls or whatever, just leave it like that, man. Don't worry about it. You don't need to cut it. All these fade cuts or whatever, it's like everybody tries to look the same, man, when you actually would look really unique, because you would have some curls here, or it would just go straight down, or it would come here nicely over, like in spikes or whatever. Yeah, it would look way more awesome. Just look how Jordan Barrett. Do you see Jordan Barrett with fade cuts? Not really, man. That guy knows how to leave his hair.
Traction from her than a status maxed mid-tier normie.
Or just a nice curl here that comes like this, very epic. Like, yeah, that's way better looking than just going for a fade, and every month is just spending a lot of money on fades
due to his apparent superior genes. If she finds the status maxed mid-tier normie more attractive, she just sees it as a natural process, and therefore determines the mid-tier normie as being the male more worthy of fucking and impregnating her.
Oh my god, man.
Back to the topic of guys with status.
I could never discuss such a topic, man. Even if it happens, it should remain in between them, okay? It's not something that you flex with, okay? It's something that remains between you and the person. Maybe you bring it up, like, but without talking with who you did it. But definitely don't just flex with who you slept with or whatever. Yeah, that's super weird.
Slaying Stacy's. Something that people need to realize is...
I used to have friends that used to ask me, hey, what you did with that and what you did with the other. And I was like, yeah, it's none of your business, man.
That the most attractive girls get desensitized to attractive men very early on in life, so they start to require attention from men that have something beyond looks in order to validate them. It's often a case that girls who develop into Stacy's...
You're reading too much into it, man. Just go outside on the sun or whatever. Just go outside on fresh air and breathe in some fresh air, because I think you spend too much time producing these videos. So just go out on fresh air and eat some natural food, because yeah, these videos are just insane.
Have a rapid puberty, meaning they reach full physical development earlier than their peers. When you see a girl who's stunningly attractive...
there's also the fact that they take those menstruation pills or birth control pills. Those also act like steroids. And some girls, they really start taking them really early. And I heard this from Durian Rider. And that can also improve their how to say, like, their ability in school somehow. Or I don't know. I heard that they act kind of like steroids. And sometimes that's why they girls do much better at school. Okay, they are also different, and yeah, the thing about schools, they also somewhat how to put it, like, some of them, not all of them, some of them are like really stubborn and they won't listen to teachers, but most of them, they are like afraid to speak up to teachers, okay? And they are just going to follow the rules, get the homework done or whatever.
It's often the case that she reached her final facial development by 16, whereas it's the more average-faced girls who go from plain or invisible...
16 is a solid age.
At 16
is a solid age to determine your looks. From there, you can't really do much.
Having appeal at 18 from more estrogen release. This is just anecdotal, but anytime I've checked the post history of a Stacy, if I check...
Okay, some of them do really improve, but believe me, if you... I know that it's up until you're 16, you don't really think much about it, and you shouldn't think much about it even after, but... 1 till 16 is way more important than what looks maxing you do from 16 to let's say 25.
Check her earlier posts when she was 16.
But still, it's never late to start eating naturally.
She will tend to look the same facially from 16 to 20, while her peers will have changed notably in that time. The reason I bring this up is because Stacy's who develop early and don't find an LTR young will be able to date a wide range of Chads before they even finish high school. For Stacy's who practice hypergamy, when they start high school they can date the older Chads in their high school. When they have entered the latter years of high school, they can date the older Chads who have finished high school. By the time they've...
Yeah, they do this very often. I myself used to have like couple years younger always back in my high school. It's like I actually no, maybe once I had someone who was my age, but always like 1 year or 2 year less. Yeah, it's because I don't know, those that were my age were dating again those that were 2 years older, or sometimes even 8 years older or whatever.
finished high school themselves.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this video because I'm gonna do multiple parts, so don't make the video too long. So yeah, there's gonna be part 2 and part 3. Thanks for watching.